At 50, you think you've got decades left to chase success, prove your worth, make it big. But here's the hard truth. Your time account is shrinking, and you can't check the balance. You'll spend years at jobs that drain you, in rooms with people who don't see you, and on goals you don't even remember why you chose, all while the clock keeps ticking. I wish I'd learned to say no sooner, to meetings that didn't matter, to friends who weren't really friends, to that toxic belief that busy equals important. Now, I treasure small things, a quiet breakfast, a slow walk around the lake, a phone call with my daughter that doesn't have to be rushed. If you're still trading your time for things that don't light your soul on fire, let me be blunt, you're spending the most valuable thing you have on garbage. Protect your time like you'd protect your last $100, because in the end, it's worth even more. At 50, I thought I was being kind by keeping everyone in my life, even the ones who made me feel small, exhausted, or invisible. I believed loyalty meant staying connected, no matter how heavy the connection became. But here's what 80 taught me. Energy is a limited resource, and if someone constantly leaves you feeling drained, that's not love. That's erosion. I had friends who only called when they needed something, family who made me feel guilty for growing, coworkers who smiled in meetings and whispered behind closed doors. I forgave, tolerated, explained, until one day I realized the people who truly care don't make you feel like a burden. You don't owe anyone access to your peace. If someone makes you feel tense the moment they walk in, that's your gut telling you to walk away. And don't fall for the trap of, but we've known each other forever. Time spent doesn't equal value. A decade with the wrong person will take more from you than a year of solitude ever could. Cut ties where it hurts, or it'll keep hurting. Love from a distance, pray for them. But save your energy for the ones who pour back in, because when you hit your 70s and 80s, you won't regret missing a birthday dinner. You'll regret all the years you let your light dim just to keep someone else comfortable in your shadow. I used to wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. 4 hours of sleep, that meant I was grinding. Skipping meals, that meant I was committed. Always talking, always moving, always filling the silence. I thought that was strength. But let me tell you, nothing will wreck your mind, your mood, or your memory faster than ignoring rest. At 80, I don't crave noise, I crave stillness, and I've learned that sleep isn't laziness, it's fuel. 8 hours a night changed more about my life than any motivational book ever did. I also stopped feeling the need to explain myself so much. If someone misunderstands you, let them. If they're committed to misreading your silence, no paragraph will fix that. Talk less, listen more, sleep deeply. And when in doubt, take a walk instead of sending the text. There's wisdom in the pause, there's healing in the quiet, and there's unbelievable clarity waiting on the other side of rest. At 50, I thought I had to be everywhere. Post more, say more, show up to every event, keep up with every trend. But somewhere along the way, I realized this. Surface-level living will keep you busy and completely empty. We live in a world that celebrates the loudest voice in the room, the most polished highlight reel, the endless scroll of opinions. But here's the truth nobody likes to admit. Depth is rare, and because it's rare, it's powerful. At this age, I don't care how many people know my name. I care who knows my heart. I care who I can sit with in total silence and still feel understood. You want a richer life? Go deeper, not wider. Ask better questions. Have fewer but truer conversations. Read things that stretch you. Be around people who don't exhaust you, who expand you. Stop chasing relevance. Start chasing resonance. Because when you leave this world, they won't talk about your follower count. They'll talk about the way you made them feel in a quiet room when no one else was watching. At 50, I thought getting older just meant slowing down. A few extra pounds, a few more pills, that's just part of life, right? Wrong. That's marketing, and they're making billions off of that mindset. Every year, I watched friends trade their mobility for medication, watched men lose energy and women lose confidence, not because they had to, but because no one told them they had a choice. Let me be clear, your body is not a machine, it's a garden. And what you eat, how you move, and what you allow into your mind, that's what determines whether you bloom or break down. You don't need to become a bodybuilder, you just need to move. Daily. Lift something, stretch, walk after dinner, drink more water than coffee. Cut the sugar pretending to be comfort. Health isn't about looks, it's about freedom. Freedom to climb stairs without pain. Freedom to sleep through the night without pills. Freedom to chase your grandkids, not just remember what it felt like to have energy. Because here's the truth no one tells you at 50. Either you build your health on your own terms, or the system will bill you for it later, with interest. At 50, I still cared way too much about appearances. Not just my looks, but my title, my car, my reputation in rooms full of strangers. I spent money I didn't need to, said things I didn't mean, and showed up in ways that weren't true to me just to impress people I'd never see again. Looking back, it's exhausting just thinking about it. Let me save you some years. The people worth keeping don't need to be impressed. They just need you to be real. Your coworkers, they'll forget what you wore. Your neighbors, they'll talk about you anyway. The folks scrolling past your life online, they're too busy curating their own highlights to care about yours. Don't twist yourself into shapes trying to fit in. Stand tall in who you are. The right people will recognize it, and the wrong ones don't matter. The loudest room doesn't always hold the wisest voices. You don't need to be seen by everyone, just understood by a few. At 50, I still believed that being attractive meant being valuable. I worried about my hair thinning, my waistline growing, my face aging. I mistook admiration for affection, and I thought if I looked good, maybe I'd feel good too. But now, at 80, let me tell you something I wish I had known back then. No one remembers your abs. They remember your presence. They remember how safe they felt around you, how they could cry in your arms without shame, how you stayed when it was hard and listened when it was silent. Love has nothing to do with youth, and everything to do with presence, patience, and peace. Your children won't quote your dress size at your funeral. Your partner won't replay memories of your toned arms. They'll remember your laugh, your words, your warmth. So take care of your body, yes, but don't obsess over it. Focus on being the kind of person people feel loved by. Because long after the mirror forgets you, your love will still echo in someone else's life. At 50, I was terrified of being alone. I filled my days with noise, people, appointments, anything to avoid the silence. Because deep down, I thought solitude meant I was unwanted. But here's what 80 taught me. Being alone isn't loneliness. It's learning how to sit beside yourself without needing to escape. Some of the most peaceful moments I've known came when no one else was around. Watching the rain tap the window, reading the same poem for the third time, fixing breakfast just for me, and actually enjoying it. Solitude teaches you what company you crave and what company you tolerate just to avoid silence. It sharpens your instincts, it quiets the people-pleasing, and it reminds you if your own presence makes you uneasy, no relationship will ever fix that. Learn to enjoy your own rhythm. Go to dinner alone. Take walks without your phone. Be still long enough to hear your own thoughts, because once you become comfortable in your own company, you stop chasing people just to feel less alone. At 50, I had a blueprint in my head. Where I'd live, how my career would go, how my family should turn out. And when life didn't follow the plan, I blamed myself. I thought I'd failed. But now, sitting here at 80, I finally understand. Life was never meant to go exactly how you pictured it. It was meant to teach you, not just please you, the things I thought were detours. They were actually redirections. The people lost, many were never meant to stay past a season. We waste too many years clinging to should have been when we could be embracing what is. That business that didn't work out, it made room for a life you didn't know you'd love. That relationship that ended, it gave you space to finally meet yourself. Your peace begins the moment you stop arguing with reality. The life you have is not a consolation prize, it's the real journey. Grieve what didn't happen, then bless it and move forward. Because the beauty of life isn't in its perfection, it's in your willingness to grow with what you're given. At 50, I thought certain doors were already closed, that my best years were behind me, that if something hadn't happened by then, it probably never would. But here I am, 80, and I've learned something most people never do. Age doesn't stop new beginnings. Your beliefs do. I've seen people fall in love at 70, change careers at 65, start painting, writing, learning a new language, not because they had to, but because they finally gave themselves permission to try. The only thing standing between you and your next chapter is the story you keep telling yourself about how it's too late. It's not. You're not too old to forgive. You're not too old to dream differently. You're not too old to make peace with your past or rewrite the way the world knows your name. You're only too old the moment you stop moving forward. So take the walk, make the call, sign up for the class, write the poem, say yes to the quiet pull inside your heart, the one that's been whispering, "There's still more for you." Because there is. So if I could sit beside my 50-year-old self one more time, maybe over coffee on a quiet porch, sunlight pouring in, I wouldn't try to scare him. I wouldn't rush him. I'd just tell him the truth. Slow down. Let go. Be kind to yourself. And remember that every moment is either a wait or a window. Choose the windows. Because at 80, I don't remember the deadlines. I remember the long walks, the belly laughs, the way my daughter hugged me before leaving for college. I remember the love I gave, not the love I chased. And now, I wake up without the need to prove anything, just the desire to be fully here, even in the stillness, to anyone listening who's somewhere in the middle of their story. You don't need more stuff. You don't need more approval. You need more truth. Your truth, and the courage to build a life that feels like home. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this message stirred something in you, share it with someone you care about. And if you're ready to live life on your own terms, you've already taken the first step. Be well, stay grounded, and remember, it's never too late to become the person you were always meant to be.